What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash today. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. We are still dragging ass, man. Nothing is happening. It's been a very boring couple of weeks now, with the exception of this one day here. We had a nice 6.6% growth from open to close. It was a little bit more than that on a wicking basis and everything. But really, we've been in this overall range here for, let's see, since we broke down into it. It's been about almost 2 weeks. So we are in the beginning of a new week as of right now. The week prior to this did close green. You were 2.47% green, but after being up so high, you came back down for a lower close, and no volume's coming in yet. So I really blame it on that. There's no volume coming in. There's nothing, guiding us one way or another. We are steadily bleeding down, and I would expect that whenever the volume comes in, we probably will see a move that breaks us out either direction. I would expect down, and kind of as is common with not just Bitcoin Cash, but with most things. Whenever you're bleeding down like this, you have one final dump, like a flash crash or something like that, something that stands out from this, and then you move sideways, or then you bounce, or then you bleed down a little bit lower. Maybe not that dramatically, but you kind of bleed down a little bit, right? And then you turn up, something like that. I don't know. And we could get any of those three. Maybe we have a flash crash and then bounce immediately. Maybe we move sideways. Maybe we bleed down a little bit. It's one of those three. I doubt that it'll be too long-lived one way or another once we see that kind of move, and that will probably happen when we're in the oversold zone in this RSI. The RSI, beyond the price clearly being in a downtrend with all these lower highs and these lower lows. We just had a lower high. What would you expect to come next? Probably a lower low. Same thing in the RSI. You've got these lower highs with lower lows. We just had a lower high. I would expect that we see a lower low. And, this could be a higher low, but it's not conventional to not at least come down to this oversold zone or into it before bouncing up on any chart, but on Bitcoin Cash as well. It definitely, every chart's different. It has its own personality, but this one, it definitely likes to come to the oversold zone before it likes to go higher. There's times where it doesn't, but even this is closer than this is right here, right? I don't know. And then that move didn't promote much either. Anyways. Looking at this thing, we're at $229 right now. Still not doing too much. Looks like we're firmly in the downtrend. I feel like I've said that already. Man, we're holding this 50. We're very neutral on the RSI right now. We are holding this 50. Kind of an uptrend, momentary uptrend in the 4-hour. Maybe we do get a pop-up. Maybe we get a pop-up in the meantime, and we pop up to about 235, 240, somewhere in that range. Probably another lower high. It's not uncommon. We've seen it a couple times in this range where Bitcoin Cash will form a lower low, and then it'll have a lower high, and before it performs another lower low, it'll have another lower high. Then we have a lower low, then we have a lower high. Actually, this one here was a higher high, and then we had our lower low, but I don't know. We could see it where this does come back up, kind of test this range again. By the way, we did test this 0.5 area of the previous price range we're in. On a closing basis, you can see that what we also tested was the bottom of this range, right? You could consider that like a fake out, but this is kind of a more tight-knit line there on a closing basis at least. And I think we have rejected it. So if we were to go up, I would expect we go maybe somewhere near this line, not too far above it if we were to go above it. And, it's possible that we could go just below it, but I would think that we go somewhere to this line. And if and when that happens, that might be the beginning of the downtrend. After all, each time, and I say the beginning of the downtrend, maybe the continuation of it, each time that we've continued to go down and pursue lower prices, we've had a green day that looked rather bullish. Here, before we went down to lower lows, we had a nice green day that came up. It kind of engulfed this candle, had a little bit of a higher high temporarily, but overall a lower high. Here, same thing, kind of a higher high temporarily, but overall a lower high. Nice, encouraging day, kind of, except for the fact that it had a big wick to the upside. And then, it's these days that we went down. It wasn't the sideways days that we went down. It was the sideways days that promoted the upside, actually. So could we go up from here, as we're moving down barely, 4 cents? I think we could. Side note, I said it in the Discord, but I am going to do a live stream tomorrow. I'm going to do a taco eating contest, and I need to pound some water so I can stretch my stomach out. I've been reading a little bit on the preparations, but I haven't really prepared too much for that. But just a quick little side note. I won't get too much into it, but I will do a live stream where I will attempt to eat more than 32 tacos at this restaurant that I like to go to in Denver here. It's not in Denver technically, but I don't know how big their tacos are. I don't know what I'm getting into, but hopefully I can do it. I like to think that I have a bottomless pit, but I might run into some trouble. We'll see. Anyways, without any more of that, if you guys want to watch that tomorrow, I will post it live, probably around what was it, 1800 UTC, right? If you're using the Bitcoin Cash chart, Bitcoin chart, whatever, 1800. Look for the 1800 hour. That's whenever I will be doing that. Anyways, enough of that. 4-hour RSI does look good. I will say it kind of does. It's neutral, but it does look good. You have a flattening top here. You're ascending into it. It looks like you would break. So seeing a move that takes us above this purple line and maybe around this white line, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised by that. That could happen in the next, probably today or tomorrow. Something like that. And then let's see, the 1 hour, kind of neutral, wonky looking RSI. Doesn't know what to do with itself. And you can see that in the price action. It just doesn't know what to do with itself. Long-term RSI is technically below the 50, just barely, but it is below the 50. That's okay. It looks like it wants to get above this purple line. It probably will get above the 50 with that. 15-minute also looks wonky. They all just look jacked, man. The only thing to me that's really convincing me that we're going down at this point is the overall trend and the daily RSI. And then, the weekly RSI too. Breaking out, I stand by this thing. I haven't said it in my last couple videos, but I said it a lot while we were up here. Breaking out of the overbought zone every single time in Bitcoin Cash's history, every single time that we've broken out of the overbought zone, it has promoted a drop in price from the overall high to the low that's at a minimum of 43%. 43 point something percent, something like that. And then at a maximum, it's like in the 70% of a drop. So I do think that we have yet to see that. At the moment, we are only at like a 35% or 36%. What is it? 34% drop overall. I do think that we have lower to go. A 43% drop, again, I haven't drawn this in a while, but a 43% drop would be about 185. If we were to go lower than that, and I kind of am expecting that we do go to this previous area where we found resistance before, tested as support, and then go up as is like usual. That could be anywhere from like a 58% drop, maybe a 55% drop, 53% drop. We could even go lower than that. That's totally possible. Line that up with these fibs here from bottom to top, and you've got an area that's right around this this topping range too. You guys know that I love this 618 to 0.69 area. The orange line to the white line there. That's a very sweet spot for a lot of charts actually, and that just happens to be right at this previous resistance zone as well. We might not go that low because Bitcoin Cash does have a few favorite places to bottom out that are a little bit above that. Bitcoin Cash loves to bottom out sometimes right above the 0.5 and even just below the 0.5. So that, that could be anywhere from about 160 to 180, something like that, 185 at the most. I say 185 because I want to be a little bit more, generous to it, and also that is a 43% drop technically, so that does meet the minimum standard that we're looking for. But on a fib scale, most of the time we do actually see just barely above the 0.5, if not lower. So I do expect that we are. My biggest buy order at the moment, I do have buy orders set for Bitcoin Cash, is at 145. That's the biggest one that I have so far. And I'm not changing that. Not changing that until the charts change my mind. And at this point in time, I'm fully expecting and hoping that it does hit that, Looking at this, that's not financial advice. That's just what I'm doing, So I don't really know if I have anything else I want to add. Maybe we could look at BCH versus BTC, because we haven't done that in a little while here. It looks the exact same. It's not of too much help, is it? It actually looks the exact same. It's quite literally symmetrical. It's kind of crazy. Not crazy though, because Bitcoin hasn't been doing a whole lot. Bitcoin Cash hasn't been doing a whole lot. What I can say is that BCH USD, if we go back to this chart, we are doing things that we've just never done before in Bitcoin Cash's history. We have never moved up this dramatically and steadily move down like this ever, right? You can go back and see here, moved up dramatically, and then this doesn't look like a big drop, but this is a lot bigger than we've seen, right? That was a 43% drop right there in 1 week, where here it has been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on our 7th week, and we've only dropped 34% from the top. Right here, same thing, big drop after a big move. Big move here. We did move sideways and slow for about 4 weeks here, and then turned up, but we haven't done that. It's been 7 weeks. It's almost been twice that time, and we're still moving down. And even here, you know, in that 4 weeks, we were at 35%, which is lower than what we've got now. Just a little bit, but it is lower. Big pump here, big down move. Big pump here. Doesn't look like a big down move, but that is 63, I believe, 63.66% of a drop. You know, same thing. This was kind of more methodical, I guess, but by the 4th week, even by the 3rd week, how far? We were down 51% after 3 weeks. On the 4th week, we were down 68%. So this is, pair that with the fact that we've never seen an RSI that's been overbought for 6 weeks before. The longest time we had before was 3 weeks. Pair that with the fact that we've never seen volume this high, and the RSI itself went the highest that it ever has on a weekly basis for Bitcoin Cash ever. Barely above this, but technically it is a first time. You know, this is kind of areas that it's just performing differently. So could we get a different result than anything we've seen before? I think it is possible. I think it's good to be aware of that. But at the moment, I'm sticking with Bitcoin Cash's personality, which is that it does not move in straight lines. It does like to go up and then go down and then go up and then go down and go up. You know, like even on these like smaller looking moves, it gives back a good bit of its move going up. Even if it's going down, it gives back a good bit of its move, you know, from going down, going back up. So I do think that we are still due for some downside, maybe in the immediate term. Just to kind of wrap up the thoughts here, that we do go up a little bit, probably around, I would say probably around 240. Yeah, give or take like a few dollars, $5 maybe. I think 238 to 245, something like that. I don't think that we break this high. If we do, it's not completely over, but I don't know if I would expect that so much because, let's see here. If we have, you know, I wouldn't expect a scenario like this one over here. If we were, I think maybe it's easier to draw it on the 4 hour actually. Let's see. Something like that maybe. What was it? Like this guy here? Yeah, something like this. If we were to break this high, yeah, I don't know if we're going to get above that line, to be fair. And that would, if this doesn't happen in the next day or so, next day or two, that wouldn't let it really go up more than like 240, 241. Could we wick a little bit above it? Sure. Let's see. Maybe this line is off. I'm sorry, guys. Let's see. Something like that. Maybe something like that. I don't know. Let's go back to here. Yeah, you know, maybe we wick above it a little bit, whatever. But that would put this line somewhere around like 245. Okay, yeah, that looks a little bit better to me. So could we go above this high? I don't think so. I do think we get another lower high, maybe double top. We might not even go anywhere near this high. We could just go like right above this purple line, right around 238, and then turn around from there. But again, just kind of closing this with the same thought that I had in the beginning, which is that we don't move down after moving sideways. We move down after having a move up. Right? You went down after this little green day here. You went down here after this little green day here. And, you know, you even double topped. You had a tweezer top here. You went down here after this green day here. And we haven't gone down. We went down a little bit after this green day, but not quite yet. So maybe in order to kick things off, we have to move up a little bit before we go down. I don't know. If not, you know, look for a break in this line. Look for a high that gets higher than this. I wouldn't say that if we get a high higher than this that it's go time just yet, but it could be. It really could be. I think getting above this high would be more significant than getting above this high here was back here. So just keep that in mind, especially if we start to see some volume come in. That would be really encouraging, but to either side, whatever way we go. But I'm not holding my breath one way or another. I still do think that we're going down lower, but if things change in the charts, you know, you got to be fluid. You got to be willing to adapt to that. That way you don't miss out on the moves. So I'll keep you guys posted, let you know what my thoughts are. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, subscribe to see more, and I will leave a link for the Discord channel. If anybody wants to join the Discord, I'll leave a link in the description. So take care, everybody. Have a good day. And watch out for that live taco eating contest tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.